So, welcome. This is my first ever YouTube video. I'm going to be talking about Guatemala, Panama, and overall just Guatemala's failures to make the World Cup because I have a lot to talk about. I mean, I've always wanted to make a YouTube channel to talk about sports, to talk about football, talk about the teams that I like, Barcelona, Guatemala, my country. And yeah, I have a TikTok and I made a video about the loss last night, and there's just so much more that I want to say. So I was like, all right, you know what? It's finally time. I'm gonna sit down, actually make a YouTube video because there's just a lot that I want to just like get off my mind because yesterday was a very sad day for me. A very Yesterday was just a very sad day for every Chapin out there. It sucks. It sucks seeing your team fail. I felt like this would have been our best and almost easiest chance to make it to the World Cup. Unfortunately, our group was probably the hardest group of the whole round. Every single team was almost evenly matched. There was a lot of draws. No team. There's only there's a lot of draws. There's only been one game so far where the home team has won, and that was Suriname last night when they smacked El Salvador. So this group has been very close. It's been very stressful, and unfortunately, we couldn't get past the hump. And yeah, I just wanted to come on here and speak about the game. Um, yeah. So the first thing I wanted to talk about were like overall how we played. I think I think we had our best game yesterday. As you can see by the stats, we created over 2.7 xG to Panama's zero point 0.5. We had a lot more shots on target, a lot more big chances created, more big chances missed, obviously. Just we completely dominated them in like almost every category. The corners I don't really count because we're really short. As Guatemalans, as Chapinas, we're all pretty short. So I don't expect getting a lot of corners to be like, an advantage for us, but it's good to see. But yeah, overall, we completely dominated the game. We were in control that whole first half up until Waterman scored. I feel like Luis Fernando Tena set us up perfectly for this game. Oscar Santis had a great chance to make it 1-0. He missed, unfortunately. Today was a bad day for him, which sucks because he's been carrying us this whole qualifying. But today, like to choose today as a day that you have an off day kind of sucks. But he's the reason we were in this position in the first place, so I have nothing bad to say about Oscar Santis. It's just unfortunate. But yeah, we had a lot of great chances, and the thing that killed us today was our defense. If we look at the defensive stats, we had zero blocks. Our defenders did not block a single shot, and they had an XG of 0.52. And every single goal came in the same exact way. It was a low cross, like not even a good cross into the middle, into the box, and nobody was able to clear it. They kept fumbling around, and then a Panama player got to the end of it and would just shoot, and they would just go in. All three of the goals came in the same exact way, and it was so infuriating to watch. I've I said this in my video on TikTok, and I'll say it again. I feel like if we had Samayoa available for this game, we would have easily won. We wouldn't have conceded 3 goals because if we look back at all our previous games, we only conceded 1 goal in each game. We were very solid defensively away from home. Nobody was really able to break us down. Suriname had until the last minute to score a wonder goal in order to tie against us. Like we were really hard to break down. And then without Samayoa, our defense looked very amateur. We we looked horrible in the back. And it's just unfortunate we didn't have Samayoa. It's unfortunate he got that yellow card against El Salvador. Um, yeah, if he would have been playing, I feel like we could have been talking about, oh, what a great win. We go on Tuesday we stay or we go to Tuesday with a high chance of winning because we're at home against Suriname and we could be talking about going to the World Cup, but no, instead we're completely out. Um, yeah. So when down 2-0 at halftime, I was like, okay, I still have faith in this team because I've seen us be down 2-0 against the US, against the United States. And we clawed back. They scored 2 goals in 3 minutes, and yeah, gave me a lot of hope. But then they just couldn't defend. It's same. It's just even with the draw, if we had kept the draw, we still had a fighting chance to make it to the World Cup because all we had to do was beat Suriname and hope Panama didn't lose. It wasn't in our hands, but we still had a chance. And even if we did beat Suriname and Panama went through, we maybe could have had a chance to sneak into the top two of the second places. But unfortunately, we're out. Like I said 100 times. Um, yeah, Panama, huge. I mean, huge congratulations to Waterman. He 2 great goals. I mean, that second one you couldn't really do anything about it. It was a great goal. That first goal that he scored, I feel like Hagen could have done a little better, but can't really can't really say much up other than that. It's just unfortunate. We uh we just I can't believe we conceded 3 goals from a .5 xG. It's just really annoying. Um but yeah, I don't know if I said this already. I'm kind of like all over the place, but I feel like Dena set us up perfectly. I feel like in all of our games he set us up perfectly. But I feel like in this game he kind of made one mistake, and that was starting Antonio Lopez over Rudy Munoz because Rudy Munoz has basically started all our other games this this qualifying, and he has been an incredible player for us, probably like one of our top 5 best players during the qualifying. And him benching him for Antonio Lopez didn't really make sense because I'm not gonna lie, Antonio Lopez did nothing today. Him and Ardon were the 2 worst players on the pitch today, and it was just I was he did nothing. I remember he had a shot that went completely like, damn near to the corner flag. It was such a bad shot. I don't want to see that anymore. Like, bro, you can ride the bench. I need to see. I know Rudy Munoz is more of a midfielder, but like you saw when Munoz came in, how effective he was. He literally scored. Our attack looked way better with Rudy Munoz. We looked way more dangerous. Even though we did create chances, we just looked more dangerous. Also, Ultra Escobar came in and he looked fantastic. Ordonez came in and he looked great. He scored. Good job. Appreciate that. Overall, I feel like Dena set us up perfectly. He couldn't really change up the defense. Like everyone knew Ardon was gonna start, but everybody didn't want him to start because we all know he's just not good enough. He shouldn't be playing in these types of games. But since we didn't have Samayoa, um, then I really had no other option. Like if you look at the formation right here, it's completely wrong. I made this right here. This is really how we were lining up, and Franco dropped the back to like a back three, and Ardon would kind of like play more like right here as a left back with Morales kind of higher up. And these two were they were at fault for like almost every goal because they just could not clear the ball. And I do not blame that on Dena. I blame that on the players. And it's just I've seen a lot of people talk about Dena and saying that how he failed and how he should like be fired or like not renewed because his contract's up in December. But I just feel like they don't know ball. Dena set us up beautifully. I feel like he set us up beautifully in every single game. But and also he said I have a quote right here. He said it's sad to see the locker room. I'm happy in Guatemala, but this decision will be up to the board. He's ready to stay, and I want him to stay. He is honestly the best coach that I've seen Guatemala have. I'm not super old. I haven't watched Guatemala for that long, so I don't really remember all the other coaches. But in my mind, Tena has taken us to quarterfinals of the Copa Oro, to the semifinals of the Copa Oro, and now within 2 games from qualifying for our first ever World Cup, he has completely changed our culture. As a team, people like we have a style of play. We're hard to break down. We're very scrappy. We have an identity. Then I gave us an identity, and I love that. I think he should keep going. I want him to keep going. I feel like he has completely changed our national team. Um, yeah, I think he should stay. If you look at the comments right here, I don't know if you guys speak Spanish, but they're saying that he should go. He's on a crazy salary, and that's why he wants to stay. But it's like there's kind of a reason. He is an amazing coach. I don't think Guatemala could find any other coach that can do what Tena has done for Guatemala. I mean, obviously there's better managers out there, but realistically we're not going to be able to get them. So Tena is honestly the best that we got, and I feel like he did the best that he could. Our players just let him down, and he should not be punished for that. He deserves a contract extension. He should get his contract extension, and we should just continue building with him because he has created something beautiful, and I just feel like we're going in the right direction with him. Completely in the right direction. We're becoming very well known. People, the semi, like getting to the semifinal of a Copa Oro was such a huge deal, and then playing well against the U.S. and giving them a hard fight. It's just like I don't understand why. I understand the reactionary like, oh, he couldn't get us to the World Cup. He couldn't get us over the hump. He has to go. We could find someone better, but I don't think we could find anybody better. I mean, if we look at our group compared to the other groups, we kind of were put in the group of death. Guatemala were a pot 3 team, which I kind of don't really understand. And Suriname were a pot 4 team, and basically they are in the driver's seat to qualify for the World Cup. Guatemala right now, we have no fight. We're not gonna wanna like it's not that big. Our final game isn't that big of a deal because we're already out. So they're not going to try their hardest. So they're in the driver's seat. Suriname will could easily qualify for their first ever World Cup, and they were the pot 4 team. El Salvador was pot 2. I don't know how El Salvador was a higher pot than us. I feel like overall through these, because I know it's based on FIFA rankings, but throughout these past couple years, I feel like Guatemala has done way more than El Salvador. We should not have ever been in pot 3. I feel like we really got hard done by that. And because of that, we got put in a crazy group. And, we tried our best. We fought. We didn't give up in any game. Um, I'm very proud of this team. It was a great World Cup qualification. I mean, we all knew it was going to be hard, but, in the end, it just didn't go our way. Maybe a couple chances. Maybe if Suriname didn't score in the last minute. Maybe if we didn't choke versus El Salvador, we would be talking differently about this. Maybe if we were able to keep a lead versus Panama instead of conceding right away. Maybe if, maybe if a lot of things. But we did good. Dena set us up great. It's just our players let us down most of the time, which I can't blame Dena for. He's working with what he's got. And, I've said this like a million times. Yeah. He's working with what he's got, and he's doing a great, fantastic job. And our future looks bright with Olger, with Rudy Munoz, with Archimedes, with Ordonez, with Matty Evans. Okay, I know I kind of went rambling on a bit. I don't really know where I went, but okay. I just wanted to talk about individual player performances. I know I kind of touched on that already, but Hagen, a lot of people are blaming Hagen for all those goals. I would only blame him for the first one, but overall, it was just our defenders that could not clear the ball, and their strikers were just getting easy chances, and they were putting them perfectly in the bottom corners every time, and it was frustrating to watch, and I can't really blame Hagen for that. He tried his best. Ardon, like I said, Ardon was not. He should not have been starting this game. He wouldn't have been starting this game if it weren't for Samayoa being suspended. So yeah, horrible game by him. Did not clear a single ball. I didn't. He was kind of a ghost as a defender. Like I couldn't believe my eyes. Um, El Caballo Morales. He I mean, he had his normal game. He didn't have really as many antics as he usually does because we were at home and we had most of the possession. But he's solid. He's probably one of our best players. I have nothing bad to say about him. Franco, which is unfortunate, he had a pretty bad game today, and he's been one of our best players. He is still really young too. He like Ardon, both of them couldn't defend anything today. They couldn't clear the ball at all, and it's just unfortunate that Franco had to have a bad game. I still have full faith in him. I still think he should be in the starting lineup. He is a great player for us, but yeah, unfortunately, not the best. Rosales, Rosales had a very solid. He had a good game. As you can see, he was the highest rated player on our starting 11 based on FootMob, and yeah, I mean, yeah, he had a great game. He was winning every tackle. He was jumping in for every ball, and I'm not gonna lie, some of those tackles looked very dangerous. I'm not like he honestly could have broken someone's foot today. They were very dangerous. I kind of was worried that he was gonna get a red card, but he didn't get anything, which is surprising. So yeah, he had an overall very solid game. Pinto, kind of like Ardon, he was very silent, very quiet today. Did not play well. Did not clear like we said before. Our team had zero blocks. Zero blocks. So our defense did not do their job. They did not defend our goal. So I can't really say anything positive about any of them. Aaron Herrera, he had a very quiet game in the first half, but once Olger came in, he very much became the Aaron Herrera we know. Um, him and Olger created a very great partnership. I'll speak about Olger later because he came in as a sub. I just wanted to talk about the starting 11 first. But Herrera, once Olger came in, he looked great, like always. That first half, he was a little slow, but can't really say anything bad. He's obviously one of our best players again. Robles, uh, quiet game. He subbed at halftime. Can't really say anything about that. Antonio Lopez, I said this again already. I'll say it again. He should not have been starting today. He did not look good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not really a big fan of him. He wasn't great in all the other games, and dropping Rudy Munoz for Antonio Lopez was Dena's biggest mistake, I would say today, because Rudy Munoz, I don't even I might cut and edit this all because Rudy Munoz he started basically all of our games this qualifying, and he was dropped today for Antonio Lopez, and Antonio Lopez couldn't do anything at all. At all. I never even saw him touch the ball except for this one shot, which ended up all the way, like I said, near the corner flag. It was such a bad shot. Rubio Rubin, very much on an island by himself. Can't really blame him. He tried his best, he holds up the ball well, but he wasn't really getting the best chances. Nothing much else to say there. Oscar Santis, I'm just gonna say this. I think Santis had his worst game for us today out of all of the qualifying, um, which sucks. The Santis that we've seen in all the other games, I feel like would have finished off. that first chance that he had that he shot wide. Um, he's usually a killer in those situations. If you give him one chance and he usually scores. So it was unfortunate to have for him to have an off day today. I can't really blame him for the loss though. He's done. I got. I said earlier. He is the reason we're here. He's the one. He's the one that scored against Panama in Panama to give us the lead, and he's the one that scored against El Salvador to win. So he gave us him alone. His two goals gave us 4 points. So I have nothing bad to say about Santis. He has been our star throughout this whole qualifying, and I just hope he can keep it up. I hope this was just one little blip. Hopefully, he's going to be older for the next qualifying cycle, so hopefully he can be more mature and he can be keep up the form that he's in right now because he was he was incredible for us this qualifying. But yeah, okay. Done with speaking about the starting 11. Like I said, I feel like Lopez shouldn't have started. It should have been Rudy Munoz or should have been Olger Escobar. Ardon, I understand why he started because we didn't have Samayoa. I can't really fault Tena for that, but unfortunately he was just not good enough, and he basically cost us the game. Pedro Altan. I already spoke a lot about Rudy Munoz. I'm not gonna speak about him. Great finish, great run, great goal for that second goal. Um, you know, like I said, he should have started. I mean, if we look at the player rating, he was technically our best player. And he's really young too. He's only 20 years old. Playing out of position. He uh he was great. Pedro Altan, when he first came in, he was a little slow, but he got accustomed to the game as it went on, and he was fantastic. He got that great assist for that first goal that started the comeback, and he was great. He won a lot of fouls. They couldn't take the ball off him, and overall he was just good. Again, maybe he could have started over Antonio Lopez, but it happens. Ordonez, he scored. He came in. He was very solid. The only thing with Ordonez was that he kept slipping. I don't know. He was just slipping a lot, and he like got his feet tangled up on the ball a lot, and it was really like frustrating to see. But he had a good game. Great cameo. He scored. Started the comeback. He had great link up with Olger. He was trying. I can't fault him on that, but just watching him slip was kind of frustrating. Other than that, he had a great game. Olger, I could speak about Olger all day. Incredible. I think he's the most talented player on this team, and I am so happy that we have a player like Olger Escobar for Guatemala. He is only 19, and I can see him playing for a great team in the MLS, and maybe even go to Europe and play for like a top team, maybe a team that's in European competitions. He looked very mature today. He controlled the game, and he was playing out of position too. He was playing very deep. I mean, if we go back to the tactics board, I'm gonna take this guy out. Olger was basically playing right here, and him and Aaron Herrera were basically our whole attack. Our whole attack that second half when Olger came in came through this side. So yeah, Olger completely changed the game. Incredible. And like I see a lot of people saying that like then I should have started him. He should have been the first name on the team sheet for all our games. And like I kind of see that, but Tena did start him versus El Salvador, and he was not that good. Maybe the nerves got to him. Maybe it's just too big of a stage for him at that moment, but he was not that good. And since then, I completely understand why Tena, with our three away games, decided to keep him on the bench and play more defensively because when you're away from home, you play to not lose. You play very defensively and counterattacking. and Olger, he was just, I don't think he fit that. So yeah, coming home, coming back to Guatemala, I knew Olger was gonna play because we were obviously gonna have more possession. I feel like maybe he could have started. I made a video about it. I knew he was gonna get playtime. Um, but yeah, great cameo. After this, I feel like then I will fully trust him. I think he will be the first name on the team sheet going forward because honestly, he is our most technically gifted player by far. He carried us through that Copa Oro, and I'm just so excited to see his future with us. I'm so happy that he decided to play for the Guatemala national team. So happy that he's Chapin. I mean, a lot of people say I kind of look like him. I don't see it, but let's go twin. Darwin Loam, he had that chance at the end. He could have finished it off. We could have tied it up. A draw could have still kept us alive, but shot it right at the goalie. It is unfortunate, but the ball just it didn't want to go in for us. Like I said, we had a 2.67 xg 67. Oh brother, we had a 2.67 xg. We had our chances. We could have easily won this game. Our defense just completely sold us. But yeah, this I've been recording for 30 minutes. I feel like I've been saying the same thing over and over again. So I'm gonna cut this up, but I just wanted to make a video because I had a lot to say about this game. I've seen a lot of people talk online saying that they want to see Tena fired when he's the reason we're here. I do not think he should go. He completely changed our national team. And yeah, overall, I'm excited for our future. A lot of our players are pretty young. In Rudy Munoz, in Franco, in Santis, he's like 26. In Olger, in Ordonez, in Matty Evans. Overall, I'm just excited for the future. I feel like we are heading in the right direction. Um, maybe for the next qualifying cycle, we will be able to make it. I will be waiting for 2030. I want to see my team be at the World Cup. That is that is one like dream in my life to see Guatemala at the World Cup, and I hope I will be able to see that in my lifetime. I feel like if we keep going in the trajectory that we're going in right now, it will eventually happen. But it's just a lot of things can change. It's once every 4 years. It's a long process. It's a long process. And to be 2 wins away from making it to our first ever World Cup and then not being able to pull through is very frustrating. I get that, but I'm happy with my team. I'm happy with everything. Dena, I want him to stay. It's just I don't know. I have a lot. I'm just rambling on and on, but yeah, it's unfortunate. We're out. I will be rooting for I don't know who. We'll see how that goes, but yeah. If you guys I will be posting more videos. I am a FC Barcelona fan, so I will be making more videos. I will be speaking about Barcelona more because Guatemala I could speak for hours about Guatemala, but they only play once every couple months, so I can't really I want to be more consistent with it. So I will be speaking a lot about Barcelona, maybe a little bit about Madrid since they're rivals, but La Liga, most of it all. I will try to cover it. If you guys want, you can follow me on TikTok. It's the same thing as my YouTube channel. Same thing as everything else. Follow me on Twitch, VixChapin. So yeah, thank you so much for listening to me ramble. I don't know if anybody's gonna even watch this because I'm uploading it the day after, and it's Guatemala. They're not like super well known. So if anybody comes across this, leave a comment. Tell me what you thought about the game. Tell me, what I should do, what should I improve on. I know I have a headset instead of an actual mic, but you work with what you have. Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. If anybody's even watching this, thank you.